Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Don't worry, I'm not going to stare at you. I'm going to do a little bit of talking and driving because we are on our Halloween special. Yep, a Halloween special video. I haven't shot one of these driving videos in like a year or two, but this is a short one because we are headed on a plant rescue. So yes, for Halloween, we are going to encounter one of the scariest things for any plants, which is the discount clearance section of a local garden center. So yep, we are going to go ahead and head to our local Home Depot where they are clearancing out all of their garden plants. We're not interested in any annual plants. We want to look at the shrubs and the perennials because they have some that I picked up earlier that I kind of want a few more. And I'm hoping now that we're in the last day of October that there might be some that are a little bit cheaper. I think they were $3 for a gallon pot earlier this week. We'll see if they've gone any lower. And I know their shrubs were reduced to 50%. So there was some blueberries that I had my eye on. I'm in the middle of huckleberry country. At least it's an hour north of me is huckleberry country, actually, because I'm in the deserty part of North Idaho. So we're going to see if they have any of those blueberry plants, because in my mind, blueberries and huckleberries, I mean, they're both in the same family. They taste pretty similar. You can't prove me wrong because I suffered from COVID and lost a lot of flavor. That's what happens when you're in a classroom during COVID. You lose flavors. So to me, blueberries, huckleberries, same thing. Less effort for picking blueberries. A lot less effort. And if you're going to argue with me, go see my huckleberry picking videos. The last one, I got like 10 huckleberries after 12 hours of attempting to pick. So we're going to do it this way. But yeah, we're gonna go see what we have available in the discount garden section. So if you're a nurseryman or a garden enthusiast like me, this is a perfect time to go buy perennials. Perennials come back year after year after year. You only have to plant them once. In the spring, they're going to be expensive. They're going to be like, $8, $10, $15. Some of them around here for me are 20 or 25. So if I can pick them up for $3, I'm going to do that. Now, selection's limited and I won't get to see them again till the spring. But for me, I think it's worth it. Nobody has faith in the future like a person who plants seeds, or in this case, dormant plants. So I'm hoping I'm going to get them before they throw them out. If I was still teaching this year, I would have gotten them just simply to divide as rootstock because, a hosta for $3 is pretty dang cheap. But yeah, that's what we're going to do is we are doing a rescue. I tried to plan something like, carving a pumpkin or doing some sort of pumpkin shaped concrete planter or something like that. And no, man, I did the pumpkin video already and y'all didn't like it. If you missed that one, that's the urban pumpkin farmer. I don't know, maybe I'll re-edit that one and re-release it today. Yeah, nobody really liked that one. I don't even think it's gotten 100 views. But yeah, this should be an interesting thing. It's really. So, I have noticed that the channel's kind of slowed down a little bit. Y'all, it's almost winter for me. It's October 31st. Halloween, I think I mentioned that. Not a lot of stuff is going on now other than just kind of working in the greenhouse. I'm going to try to go pick up some other chemicals for an aphid spray tomorrow. For my my pest control videos, so I'll do that tomorrow. But other than that, yeah, not much going on in the greenhouse. Things will get very, very busy in the spring as we start to, we're taking cuttings, we're planting baskets, we're getting all that stuff to go. I still have to figure out where I'm going to get my hanging baskets. I do have a plan, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video yet, but when I say this area is a desert, it is a desert. We get 12 inches of rain a year, but also it's kind of a plant desert. My options for plants here, there's one local nursery that's a year-round store. There's a garden center that's a pop-up. It opens in the spring. And then we've got like Home Depot and Walmart. So there's not a lot of places that I can go and get plant material. So I'm pretty limited to what they've got here on hand, which is kind of frustrating. I may do some mail order stuff. At least the advantage for me when I was teaching at the school is I could bring in anything that I wanted. If I had a plant that I thought was cool, I could go ahead and just bring that in a large quantity, and then I, of course, buy mine out of that. But that's how I got a lot of the varieties of plants that I'm going to work with in the spring for our hanging baskets. But yeah, other than mail ordering stuff, there's not a lot of options here. And there's all sorts of rules about bringing stuff in from out of state. Commercially, you've got to abide by rules. Technically, with some of those, even as a home consumer, this is one of the few places in the country that you can't plant potatoes without them being special certified potatoes. So I can't just grab a potato out of the russet bag and throw it in the ground. That's actually illegal here. So makes it a little harder to do things. You have to plan. If you want potatoes, you have to plan in the spring to get seed potato starts. You can't legally, you can't just take a potato that started to sprout in your kitchen and plant it in the ground. Even though here in North Idaho, even though it was the first place that potatoes were grown in Idaho, was just a little bit north of here. We don't grow potatoes in North Idaho. That's a Southern Idaho thing. Up here we do timber and garbanzo beans and lentils. We don't do potatoes. So I'm 5-6 hours away from potato fields, and yet I can't plant them in the ground. Just Idaho law. All right, we are almost into Home Depot. Oh, the garden center. The door's open. I think so. Cool. Oh no. Oh no, am I too late? Oh, they've moved stuff. Let's go rescue it, see what we've got left. All the Christmas stuff is out. All the annuals have been moved. Maybe they're 75% off. Let's go see. Well, those are the discount racks. Looks like we've got heuchera, cabbage, some kale, fescue. Well, most of the perennials I wanted were gone. That's okay. I got a bunch. I got a bunch my last trip, so we'll plant those. They've got them all carted up. All the Christmas stuff's arrived. So the rest of it's going to be going away. But let's look at the blueberries. That's not far from where I grew up. Perpetua. I think that's an everbearing. When you're shopping for plants, always look at the base. It'll tell you so much more about the plant. try one of these. And then this is another Perpetua. And another one. And what is this one? Peach Sorbet. Zones 5 through 10, so that'll work here. Ooh, I didn't look at this one. 4 through 8, that'll work. I think we're going to go with that one. Okay, there's 2 of those. And we're going to see what other shrubs we want to put in here. I hate boxwoods. They've got boxwoods. They got euonymus. Don't want any of those. Boxwoods. I know they're deer resistant, I just don't like them. Spirea, already got one of those. Dwarf Korean lilac. I don't know that. Well, lilacs do well here, so we'll try one. Oh, what's this? Bearberry. We had this as a kid. I don't remember. Don't really care for it. Look at, see what else we've got. More bearberry, more boxwood, more spirea. Ah, peonies! Love peonies. What do they want for these? 30, so I'll make it 15. Well, that's a lot of mildew. I love whites, but I don't like it when they have mildew on them already. Alexander Fleming, I used to grow this one. Monsieur Jules Lee, I used to grow that one too. What's this one back here? Gardenia, didn't grow that one. Yeah, these are grown in Mount Angel again, which is not that far. Sarah Bernhardt, my goodness, they had like all the varieties I used to carry. All right, well, we'll look at those. I'm gonna put you on pause again. Now they do have a fig tree, so this is a brown turkey fig. One of the problems though is I can't grow it here. It's only hardy down to 10 degrees. A couple years ago we were -4, and I know we're going to get pretty cold again, so this is actually die out. So I'm not going to get that. And there's currants, yucca. Don't ever plant yucca. And then there are some other shrubs. St. John's wort, the perennial shrub version. Barberry. Hate those. I would guess this comes from Oregon because it's got hazelnuts, otherwise known as filberts, as a covering for the pot. Majority of Oregon's hazelnuts are grown right around this farm. Let's see what else we can find. Hydrangea. See if it's got a hardiness zone on it. 4 to 9, so this would be hardy. We'll try this one. Okay, so those are our newest rescues. So we'll put those in the garden and see what we think about them. I don't think there's anything else here that I really want to save. But yeah, plant rescue. So we'll do a part 2 in a little bit. All right, I'm done shopping. So this is going to be our rescues. So these will be the plants that we'll put in. So we have 2 different blueberries. We have a type of hydrangea. And then we have a miniature lilac. So that's going to be our rescues. in addition to the ones that I already got. So yeah, we'll do, there you go. So those will be our rescues in addition to the ones we already got. So that's going to be our video. We'll do a part 2 when we start putting them in the ground, probably tomorrow. So hope you're enjoying this Halloween version of a plant rescue. You know, the scariest thing is a garden center at the end of the season when it comes to plants. But we'll rescue some of these. So hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.